what is happening here when a president is doing more than anyone in modern American history that we can tell, any other president in modern America, to position his family to make an astounding amount of money while in the White House. And when I say astounding, what we're talking about is not in the millions or in the hundreds of millions. What we're talking about is deals that are in the billions, whether we're talking about the Trump name powering, I think, more than $10 billion worth of real estate projects, the Trump name powering billions of dollars of value for his social media company, which only went public last year.
Right.
Hundreds of millions of dollars of crypto. And then I told you I was going to say something that was the opposite of this. This is what I want to say. As I was walking here from my desk in the newsroom, just on the other side of this floor to our radio studio, I saw that the United States government, the Trump administration, told Harvard University that it can't enroll international students, and that existing foreign students are going to have to transfer or lose their legal status. And for me personally, news like that, which I find comes basically every week, maybe sometimes every day, just these really things that I had never contemplated or never heard of, that there has been so much tumult in the last few months, so many things going on, tariffs alone, the stock market alone, the economy alone, that it is so easy to forget that what is happening on the Trump business side is really important too. So what Annie and I were trying to do, we're to try to just forget about politics and forget about policy, forget about things like Harvard, and just really focus on the Trump money-making machine.
Can I say there are folks that come in and say, we're all kind of chasing the stuff that is coming out of the White House. And the question often arises of like, well, wait, what are we missing? What is going on that maybe isn't in the headline or what the administration is talking about or the president and his team? So take it away, because you guys did some really deep reporting.
That is what we tried to do. So Annie Massa and I, with help from many editors, I want to mention David Shear, who really made this happen. What we tried to focus on is that compared to all that tumult that I just mentioned, all the Harvard news and the comings and goings, compared to that, there's something very clear about the Trump empire, which is that its approach and our timeline is since the reelection campaign began. Everything that we're talking about here is after he announced his reelection. The approach is clear. The Trumps are selling that family name, and they're doing it at a scale that I really do think could very well be the story of the day, the story of the year, if it weren't for all these things happening. We see the Trumps going and doing things they simply did not do in the last term when they said no new foreign deals in the first administration. We were not talking about new foreign deals in the last administration, really, because Trump essentially said that they wouldn't happen. Now, you basically have to take out your globe, because Annie and I traveled, journalistically speaking, to Qatar, India, Vietnam, the United Arab Emirates. The United States is involved too. And at each point, they're doing really interesting things. They're licensing their name to really big projects, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars worth of projects. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes something very important is happening, which is that the deal includes arms of governments. I'm talking about, it may not be the Trump administration, it may not be the Trump family, I should say, signing a deal with a government, but governments are involved. And that rubs up against what Trump said would not happen this term, when Trump said there would not be new deals with foreign governments.
Governments involved, government money involved.
What we're really talking about is things like, let's say in Oman, for example. They announced when they announced that deal, they announced as a partner the Omran Group, and that is essentially think of it as a state-owned tourism group, and they're going to be involved in that deal. Listen, let me point out that the Vietnamese, I believe he's the prime minister, he may be the president, but the one extremely important figure in Vietnam, met with basically the financial representative on the new Trump project in Vietnam. That is what we mean when we say that these things are very big, they're potentially very lucrative, and a lot are happening right now.